Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Age of Digital podcast, where we talk about Amazon, e-commerce, and all things digital media related. I'm your co-host, Phil, joined by my other co-host.
Hey guys, my name's Sean.
And today's topic is we're going to go a little general here. We're going to talk about what is the game plan going forward selling on Amazon
Mm,
in 2021. So,
right.
before we dive into 2021 here, I just want to go back. 2020, crazy year. It's been a wild ride for us and our
Yeah.
clients and a lot of sellers as well.
Yeah.
Good and bad as well. Everyone saw that
Yeah.
huge demand surge in March,
Right.
as well as what we're seeing in Q4. But,
And
you
it's
know,
carried consistently throughout. Maybe a small seasonality, but other than that, it's been pretty consistent. Amazing year.
exactly. It's been pretty solid, but I guess when Amazon announced like they were gonna be pretty much staying with that whole inventory restriction ban, that really screwed up sellers of all levels. I
And
can't.
and
Well,
yeah,
no, I was
and
just I was just gonna say I can't
okay.
imagine the sellers, the eight-figure sellers, nine-figure sellers who have like
Right.
just thousands of SKUs. Like, what of a nightmare it's going for them.
And you know what? That's where the opportunity comes in when there's chaos. It's when all that inventory ran out in March due to the demand. We had like a period of 3 or 4 months where there was virtually no competition, and that really helped a lot
Mm,
of us out, right? So, with chaos, it comes innovation, uh, new ideas, new game plans, and these nine-figure sellers, eight-figure sellers, they're gonna have to adapt and actually have better systems in place to handle, the new game.
yeah, just adding on to that. I think a lot of people don't really play to this a lot, but in business, it's all about adapting and pivoting,
Right.
right? Like even the biggest companies, they all had to adapt and pivot at some point in time,
Right.
and this is just kind of one of these moments now for Amazon sellers like ourselves and our clients.
Shout out to Intel versus AMD. AMD is like the small little seller, and Intel is the big seller that is complacent on the returns.
Were they complacent? Intel didn't. I don't think Intel put out anything like really new, right, compared to AMD this year.
They've been stuck on their 14 nanometer processor since I believe the early 2010s. So they've really been
Wow.
they've really been milking their cow for a very long time. So
I do know that AMD stock this year did very well.
yeah,
Even though they're so much smaller than Intel, but they
yeah.
definitely caught up a lot.
And also Apple's new A14 chip, their M1 chip as well. Heard some great things about that, and that's just gonna further deteriorate Intel's market share. I
Right,
think,
because I think
yeah,
I remember what was it? Apple, they're not partnering with Intel anymore. Is that
yeah, and they actually released the new MacBook Air, the M1 chip, and it is a beast of a machine. Like it just crushes every single notebook out there. It does video editing better than, from what I've understood in terms of benchmarks, better than some of the specked out 16-inch MacBook Pro, which I use right now to do video editing and stuff like that. So it's Apple's really delivered in terms of, you know CPUs. But anyways, this isn't really a podcast about CPUs. We just wanted to illustrate that, you know if you stay complacent, people will start to creep up, and nobody has a firm hold on any keyword or product forever. You have to keep innovating. You have to keep getting better.
exactly?
Right.
And there's a quote. I don't know who said it a long time ago, but I came across this quote. Is basically, the moment you become comfortable, that's when you start losing. Because
Right. Right. Right.
the world is still gonna keep moving forward. Everyone's still gonna keep innovating and getting ahead of you, right? So
Right.
the moment you start becoming comfortable and complacent, that's when you stop learning, and that's when you
Right.
start falling
Exactly.
behind. So, I just want
Oh,
to
you
lead on. Yeah, go ahead.
well, before you go into the next point, we also spoke to another one of our good friends, and we were looking at their listing, and we thought they upgraded their listing to all 3D images. We're like, well, this listing is amazing because it looked exactly like their listing,
Yep.
And then we're like, wait, this doesn't say your brand's name. They're like, yeah, they just copied me. So you got to keep innovating. People are gonna copy you and try to do things better, right?
Exactly.
And took away your market share.
If you're the one who's innovating, then everyone else is playing catch up. If you put it that
Right.
way,
Right.
so
Exactly.
obviously you're taking on a lot of inherent risk by testing things out and seeing if it works or not. Right. That's associated with cost, but if it works out, you're the first in line, and everyone has to wait behind you.
That's
So
tough.
I just wanted to, I guess then, in terms of the game plan on Amazon, in 2021, what can people expect? Well, what I think is that it's going to get a lot more competitive in terms of the Amazon landscape. For people who aren't, who were thinking, of selling on Amazon, they're on the fence. I think, many of them are gonna lean towards it and actually sell on Amazon because this year Amazon's been all over the news. It's like literally like the second gold rush of Amazon, right?
Right. I
And
think
yeah.
I think it's a lot of people who enter this game, um, they need proper guidance in terms of just understanding
Hmm.
the numbers and the finance, right? I think if you don't understand that, it's going to be hard for a lot of sellers. They're going to come in, they're not going to understand their money, the money aspect of it. They're going to get sales, and then the money comes back, and it's going to be less than what they've actually invested in. And this is common throughout the majority of sellers who start, right? And it's an example on life. Most the people who make the most money are at the top and with the most understanding and the most execution, right?
Yeah,
So we're
absolutely.
more competition.
When
Yeah.
you're starting an Amazon business, this is a legitimate business you're creating.
Right.
This isn't
Right.
something that you can do here and there and it's still going to thrive. Like there are so many things. I feel like I don't know about you, Sean, but like for me, a lot of these Amazon teachers and gurus out there are saying like, oh, Amazon is so passive income. It is not passive income.
No.
It is anything but passive income. There could be moments where it does feel like passive income, where you're
Well,
not doing much and you're still selling, but those
I,
are not forever.
I'll say this: it's passive in the sense that the money rolling in is passive, but in terms of
Hmm.
staying ahead, being competitive, making sure that you have money again for the next run, that is not passive at all. And I'll give you a good example. Like if you're making, let's just say on your product, as a beginner rookie seller, $3,000 a month US. Those are pretty good numbers for your first year. Um, like, how much does it cost for you to launch a new product? Let's just say conservatively it would cost 10,000, between 10 and 15,000.
Yep.
Um, right? You still got to pay your own bills. You make $3,000 profit a month. How you realistically have to pay your own bills. You pay yourself 1,500, you still have 1,500 remaining. You can only launch a product once a year, right? It has to be a winner every single time. So really, you're this is a long run kind of game, right?
Exactly. And I guess I want to talk about like just closing thoughts on the competitiveness of Amazon is that there are opportunities still on Amazon. It's just that
Right.
I feel that they can be more short-lived now than ever,
Mm-hmm.
just because there's more players entering. Next thing you know, as soon as this new niche category is blowing up, all of a sudden, you just see a bunch of new competition coming in. Everyone all of a sudden wants to get a slice of that pie, right? And more often than not, sad to say, is that these competitors are not really innovating in the space. They're just coming in with with usually an average to inferior product, and then they're just driving the cost down. There's,
Right.
in their mind, if I can sell it for cheaper, technically I should be the winner. That's not
Right.
necessarily true, but
Right.
unfortunately, that's a common trend.
Yeah. And with that, we'll move into the next subject, which is whether or not we think Amazon will lift their inventory restrictions.
Hmm.
And this is a very touchy subject. Obviously, we're all praying that we can just fill up Amazon's warehouses to the brim and not have to worry about just set and forget kind of having it with our inventory. We believe that we're going to have to use 3PLs going forward. So third party logistics, for our viewers who don't know what it is, 3PLs are places where you can house your goods and also ship to Amazon to drip your inventory in and potentially do fulfilled by merchant as well. And this is, I think, Amazon let the leash go a little bit for us in Q3 of this year so that we can send in more inventory. But I have a feeling that inventory restrictions will happen longer and longer throughout the year, and this will be a norm going forward.
Yeah, gone were the days where we could send in literally thousands of units and
Right.
not even have to worry about. The only thing we had to worry about were just FBA fees and
Fees. Long-term
storage
storage
fees.
fees. Yeah.
Exactly. Those are the only things we had to carry about. But other than that, it was just just start
Right.
driving sales. But now we have this extra layer onto the Amazon business,
Right.
and I guess then I want to talk more about driving more sales to Amazon now. I know this may not seem like it makes sense with the whole inventory restriction part, but what Sean was saying earlier, how a lot of sellers were slowly converting their listings or adding an FBM option to
Mm-hmm.
their stores. That's not a bad idea at all. Amazon is totally okay with that. We see a lot of big sellers adopting to this practice. We even have a few clients
Yeah.
who
Right.
have some of their top selling products. They have an FBM option right now just
Right.
because they don't know if they can get their entire
Right. Right. Right.
supply chain under lock. You
Right.
know, so I just want to talk about just a couple ways people are driving external traffic to Amazon. Some of the stuff we're doing as well for our store. Amazon loves it when you drive external traffic outside. It's a huge SEO boost for keywords and your product. So,
Mm-hmm.
some things we're doing right now is we're actually kind of doubling down on Instagram. Right now, our products, we kind of found a way to create content with our products. And we're
Right.
actually getting a bunch of brand ambassadors
Right.
to sign on with us and basically promote our products through social media. And
Right.
when we say brand ambassadors, I just wanted to clarify there's a lot of ways you can structure a deal with brand ambassadors. So, like spokespeople. And what we do is we just keep it very simple. We do an affiliate program with them where they have their own unique link. And as soon as they post it, they include the link. If someone clicks on it and they buy it, it tracks the number of sales, and they actually get a percentage of commission for a job well done. So they're kind of, in a sense, they're kind of like middlemen. I don't want to say middlemen, but that is really if you want to simplify the terms.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the keys now, right? In a space where things are getting increasingly more competitive, you got to think about other ways to get traffic to your listing, right? Especially with Amazon's product assortment, offerings, whatever you want to call it. It's getting so saturated to a point that it's very hard even for PPC to show up on the first page now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that too, is just I feel like a lot of people when they sell on Amazon, they just stick to Amazon, right? They're just like, oh,
Right.
what are ways I can get more sales within Amazon? But I
Yeah.
feel like not enough sellers are taking advantage of all the resources you have outside, right?
Right.
Social media, TikTok, a lot of, I just found this out, I think last week, Sean, but a lot
Right.
of drop shippers are using TikTok to promote their new products now. Because the whole purpose of how you get sales with dropship is you need to create some kind of very simple viral video that solves a problem, and that's what a lot of dropshippers love to do and are good at. So, if those videos tend to do well on Facebook, there's a really good chance they're going to do well on TikTok. And TikTok right now, the engagement I'm seeing is just through the roof. We're
Right.
trying to look into that avenue, see how
Right.
we can take advantage of that. But
Right.
yeah, as an Amazon seller, you can't rely on Amazon, the system itself, PPC. You're going to have to look at outside ways, and that's how you really get ahead.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and whether it be Etsy or your own Shopify store, that's something that we have to all push for. Business development, sales, that's what drives our company, right? So, you have to fall in love with sales and just doing as much as you can to research about how to get more business for yourself and your
Yeah,
business.
absolutely. And we just spoke about ways to drive external traffic to Amazon. But what about creating other business channels, right? You said
Yeah,
Etsy.
exactly.
Etsy, for those that don't know, Etsy actually they loosened up the restrictions because I think a couple of years back, Etsy was you were only allowed to sell on Etsy if it was kind of like homemade goods,
Mm-hmm.
very like mom and pop, like arts and craft kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Etsy released a report fairly recently that they weren't doing that well in sales. So that's the reason why they kind of just decided to be a lot looser in the
Mm-hmm.
restrictions. So
Right.
it doesn't matter if you have home goods or not. You can whatever product you have, there's a good chance you can sell on Etsy,
Right.
and there is still quite a bit of sellers on Etsy. So that's a definite place to immediately expand to.
Yeah. That exactly. So with that being said, we're gonna sign off here and look forward to see you guys in the next video
All right,
and
take care,
podcast.
guys. Take care. Till next
Take
time.
care.
Be safe.
See you guys.